All right, guys, we are back here with another video to talk about the Hyperkin competitor. Now, this is obviously right off the bat a very interesting controller because clearly it is a direct mixture of PlayStation and Xbox in one. I mean, you look at the layout, this is a PlayStation controller that has an Xbox logo on it. Now, the main thing I think for this type of controller would be to be used on PC because this is a wired controller. Of course, you can use it on your Xbox. You plug it in via wire. You can use it on your Xbox, no problem. It will work. But I think a lot of people would end up using this on PC plugged in and get better connection. You don't have to deal with any of the wireless stuff. And especially if you're playing competitive shooters and stuff, this wired always does come in handy. Now, with this controller itself, you can see it has the symmetrical thumbsticks. That is like the main difference here. I would say comparatively to an Xbox controllers, you have that symmetrical thumbsticks. That's one of the main differentiating factors that sets it apart. So if you are a fan of that, you are getting this feature here. You do have the Xbox button, which you can use on your PC. You can use it on your Xbox. We'll have all that functionality, game bar, the app, all of those things that you can move across with when you hit the Xbox button, which is definitely very nice. Has the Xbox buttons here, I forget what it's called, start and select, the window button and the hamburger button, the 3-line button, whatever it's called. And then obviously you have the face buttons. Now the face buttons have that glossy PlayStation feel to them. But one thing I will say, I've never been a fan of the DualSense controller. I don't like it, the way that the buttons feel. I don't like the symmetrical thumbsticks. I also don't like the symmetrical thumbsticks in general. And there's no difference here. Like, I'm not a fan of the symmetrical thumbsticks. I mean, you can see my thumb sometimes hit, and that's why I do like the Xbox layout significantly better. But there are people that are on Xbox that actually like this layout better, and this would be the control for them. So there's that. And these are Hall effect joysticks. So that is a great thing. You're not going to have stick drift with this controller because of that. Back to the face buttons. The face buttons look like PlayStation buttons, but they do not feel like them. One of the things I really dislike about the DualSense is the shallowness of the buttons. They made the DualSense so that it was extremely quiet. I don't care about my controller being quiet. I'm not playing it in a room where it needs to be quiet. So it's irrelevant to me. All I care about is how good do these buttons feel. And I think the face buttons on this controller feel better than the face buttons on the PlayStation 5 DualSense. I always found the PS5 DualSense buttons to be too shallow. It's like you can't even feel like you're pressing them. I just didn't like it. These, you don't have that issue. D-pad feels similar, but it is slightly different in just like the sound as well that it makes. And I would say the depth that the button does go, but you can see it is that D-pad where it's just one like disc under and it all just moves around simultaneously. So you're going to have that PlayStation feeling of the D-pad. Top buttons, exactly like a PlayStation controller with the RB and LB. These are a little bit more clicky, I would say. The triggers themselves, what's interesting is these are impulse triggers. They don't have the PlayStation trigger functionality, which I never even liked. So I like the impulse triggers better than the PS5 DualSense functionality. You have your mic mute, you have your share button, you got a headphone jack at the bottom. And then on the back, this is where you get a little bit of an advantage here that the DualSense obviously does not have, is you have these back buttons, which also have a lock. So you can lock them if you don't want to use them, if you're accidentally hitting them. I think that's a great feature. I think all controllers with back buttons should have the lock feature so you never accidentally hit them. All in all, it feels exactly like a PlayStation controller. We can even bring my PlayStation controller out here and you can see just how close it is. The thing I will say is this here is not as long as this, which I actually like. I like the feel of this one better because I always found these ones too kind of long and skinny for my hands. The middle part is a slightly, I would say, thicker overall, but not like an insane amount. But other than that, it's just the exact same. Like, this is, if you are a PC gamer, mainly, I would say this is for people who are playing on PC, but you want the Xbox functionality with the Xbox buttons, with the PlayStation feel to it, this is the controller for you. For me, it's probably not because I like my Xbox controllers better, but for those out there that are looking for that, this is the controller for you. So this is the Hyperkin competitor. it's a very interesting one on the market right now just because of the look and feel of it. $50 if you do want to pick this one up. Aside from whether I'm a PlayStation controller fan or not, the controller overall does feel good. It does function well. I didn't really have any issues with it at all playing games. So if you do want to check it out, you can go ahead and do that. There will be a link in the description below. And of course, Hyperkin did send this over. So I do want to thank them for sending this over for me to look at. But on the video there, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. If you're new here, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.